Okay, ready. Good afternoon, good day, good evening to everybody present. My name is Xyaa, and we're back for another candid interview. But last time we had a journalist who was an Esports Journalist of the Year nominated. That was Vasav. But today we've got someone very interesting, someone who, in my eyes, has made sure that, you know what, we'll just give a different style to how esports gaming and online gaming works. And simply as a content creator, he's tried to put so much emphasis on games which are not niche per se, but they are niche, but they're not the mainstream games, the game that he enjoys. And today we have with us Mr. Sikhwarrior himself. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I am happy to have you on board. It's been a while. I mean, the first time we spoke, and I was just like, for me, first time knowing about your presence was simply because of Apex and like the whole trying to understand the Indian ecosystem about Apex and how messed up it has become since it's in launch and with the removal of like the mobile version of the game as well. And now suddenly BGM is back and Battle Royale is the new big thing. It's like quite interesting.
Yeah.
Have you been able to see any of the events? Have you been looking at these mobile events? Just wanted to know your.
Uh, I just saw the highlights and stuff. I am not actually following them, but I have seen glimpses.
I was asking you this because of the amount of people in these arenas. Like, it is
I know.
bonkers to be seeing 3,000,
It's
five
crazy.
thousand people. Crazy. Like, I got to go, because of media work, I went over there for BGIS. And
Yeah.
the last day was, let's just say, it was a sight to behold as a fan because when you got 6,000 people around you, it is insane. Also, the police situation scared the living.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
had no idea.
yeah, it was not good. If I'm being honest, the way I had to sneak in also. I mean, I'm not. It's a very funny story. How to sneak in was I had to tell I was a club member because it was in another area. Get the cab
Yeah.
in and then go behind the arena just to get in because they had barricaded the entire thing to allow anybody in. So getting people in was next to impossible because the police were like, "We are not allowing anybody in." So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I mean, but that is one topic which we'll be getting into. But talking about you, I mean, you finished your degree in 2000s. Like we're going now way back. You
Yeah.
finished your
Yeah.
degree in, if I'm correct, computer engineering or
Yeah.
so in
Computer science.
computer science. Yeah, 2000. I think so. That was like the boom era of it. And within 2 years, you just left. Why?
I was not enjoying. I was not, feeling myself because I have been a gamer long before the college, and it went from school time. So I wanted to, have do something else. Actually, it was not my plan to be a streamer, but I wanted to, do something for myself, not for someone else. You know, if I'm working in a corporate
Eh,
company,
eh,
so I don't, I'm not working for myself.
yeah,
I'm working for them and getting paid. What do you say? It's like
a salary.
pennies
Yeah,
what they charge from you know the clients. So it was not worth for me
I mean,
staying there.
after the quotes which was said by the CEO of Infosys, I think so. We all have just been like, yeah, this is not looking good. And
So
the
those
funny,
are the tech companies which are actually kind of exploiting all the workforce. uh, they are picking from the college a lot of students. They are training them in terms of industry standards. They're training them. I feel like let छोड़ो इसको.
no, you can tell me.
Because
No,
it's a huge topic,
no, it's a
because
topic I think
see.
so. We should be even discussing because I'll tell you one thing. I'm a
Yeah.
computer engineer. I passed out for my degree
Okay.
this year. I just
Okay.
like 2 days ago, I told Geo that I'm not working for y'all. I literally told them
Okay.
I am going to continue because I got an opportunity to commentate on an event. Not commentate for an
Hmm.
event. I work for like a fan code now for the AFC Cup,
Okay.
which is like the
Okay.
second tournament in football. So I told Geo I don't want to apply. I told my college they have delayed my onboarding for 5 months, and it's a discussion I think so
Okay.
because many of us gamers
Hmm.
go into engineering. It's
Yeah.
very commonly seen. You can now see college gaming clubs being made and stuff. So it is a
Hmm.
discussion that should be made possible because I know it's some two people who are now in the industry. So that's why I was like, if you want, please share your opinion on this.
So the thing is, in colleges they don't teach you the stuff which is relevant in the industry, and
Yeah,
the industry people want the latest tech which their in which their projects are
based on
required based on, and they want you to work on those technologies and serve their clients. So they'll give you the training which is supposedly should have been given to you in your college days. Because why are they even teaching you irrelevant stuff, or maybe it's stuff which is not even relevant in 2020 or maybe 2015 or whatever it is. It's very old school whatever they are teaching, and it is not relevant. So if they are picking you up from the colleges, like from the campus placement, and like they're teaching you their stuff,
Yeah.
so you feel obliged to work there because they have taught you and they made you something in the industry. Because obviously the college did not give you the necessary knowledge,
Yeah.
and they are giving you the knowledge for their own purpose, and they are giving you pennies in the name of that they have
Hired
gave
you.
you that knowledge. They
Yeah.
hired you, they gave you, so you feel obliged to work for pennies and give your, what do you say, as you said, 70 hours a week to them for their gains. It doesn't make sense to me, bro. Like, it doesn't.
I mean, I can clearly understand. I think so. That is where the parallels for you and me come into play, because it's like
Uh-huh.
3 years later, it's like somebody else is like, nah, I am done. I can't be asked. And I mean, talking about this, your early life, like we talk about this transition. I think so. It's like obviously a very common thing of the transition happens. Families like,
Yeah.
okay, try it out, see if it works out. For you, even the early days of YouTube as well in Indian gaming scene, it was quite early. Like
Yeah.
back then, when I look at it, I just turned 18 when you started streaming. And your streams were
Uh-huh.
like your first stream was on just an opening. It was just an opening
Opening.
of a headphone set, or it was an opening of
Uh-huh.
something else. So how did this happen that you were just like, okay, you know what, I'm going to start with Tech Fairy Films?
It was not actually tech. It happened like I received them, and I was about to use them for my streams or so for my game. So I thought, why not? Let's do it. So I opened them, unboxed them, used them on my stream, on my for my games, and yeah, that's how it began. There has to be something which gives you the reason to start. And I thought, yeah, that is the reason. So I started, and I that time I used to play PUBG a lot of PUBG. And in fact, there was no PUBG scene that time in India. It was just a game which launched that time only in 2018, and everybody was playing it internationally, and Indian gamers were still stuck on old school games like Counter Strike and all. So it was fairly new to them. And yeah, I started there, और फिर उसके बाद तो everything just keep on happening.
One thing after another. And
Hmm.
I mean, you bring up PUBG, and I was going to bring this up like one of your first few games, because there's a very interesting thing which I saw. You have done a casting as well.
Yeah.
Back in 2019, you did a casting for a tournament for PUBG. So did you ever feel like taking it forward? Because at that point, you were like one of the few people who would be even like focusing on the mechanics, and even in the casting, y'all were focusing on that and like the entire environment. So why didn't you feel the need to go forward with this, or like how was that experience for you?
So I was a full-time streamer back then, and they approached with the opportunity कि, okay, you had very good knowledge in the game, so and you also speak well, so you should you should cast for the tournament. I said, yeah, okay, fine. I am happy to do it. And I casted, I think, not just one. I casted three, four tournaments.
Yeah.
I casted one LAN, no, two LAN events, and one online event, and few other small online events as well. So I did it and I enjoyed it, but I did not go through, what do you say, regular casting,
Hmm.
because I enjoyed PUBG, and I loved playing it, and I loved casting it, watching it. So I don't know, it just happened. I felt good. It felt good. Or uske baad fir, I don't know what happened. Why I did not take any other opportunities. But that was also a thing, that it was a PUBG PC
Yeah.
tournament which
Yeah.
was happening. And then suddenly, like after what do you say, a few tournaments and all, PUBG PC tournaments stopped happening,
Yeah.
and people stopped playing PUBG PC, or they played very less of PUBG PC. Then people shifted to other games, and then the boom which was happening, it just plateaued.
I mean, that is a very common trend which you're seeing right now with any game. Like legit, when we talk about this, it's like any game you see, it's like, yeah, we are gonna have a boom, you have a situation, and then it just plateaus because there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
Like even like right now, being honest, there are only two games, and this is one thing which I mean, I want to ask you this because you are a core, your core. Like, I might ask, like, you're
Hmm.
one of the veterans over here. For like people who don't know, a veteran is like somebody who's there from the old time. Because players like Xyaa, Rakazone, I got a chance to meet Rakazone recently, and it was like quite interesting. I was just like, okay, wow, I am now like talking to people who are very, and like even talking to you, it's like literally happened within a span of few days. And I want to know like meeting like how these people. Do you remember meeting them and how was this experience? Because that was like the first I think so proper group which were that were playing games together, who were streaming together, and trying to build up this culture of streaming as well.
Yeah, back then everybody was streaming their own games. Nobody knew each other, and everybody then started playing the same game. And then we got to know, okay, Zaya was playing. Okay, actually, I knew Zaya way before. Then Raka was playing. Then Robo was playing. I also knew Robo way before streaming as
Streaming.
well. I actually knew a lot of gamers which you see
N-
currently streaming. Way before, like used to play Counter Strike together. I
Okay.
was a Counter Strike veteran, so we used to play Counter Strike together. Like if you see Marzil, Right to
Yeah.
Ace, Simmer, Sai, Excali, we used to play together Counter Strike. So much of Counter Strike that we have a lot of history and memories
I
together. So
that
it's not that I'm not new to all of them. It's
hmm,
just that people
it's
have
synced.
switched games or switched teams. Everybody knows
Yeah.
me. Everybody knows each other. So it's just that we meet sometimes during the events. How do you know each other?
I mean, that's a nice thing to see because I think so. Watching you even play at like the event, like the LAN event, which was there, which was very recently done up. It was like seeing, being having like a full meet and greet situation. We talk
Hmm.
about this, and I want to ask your experience. Like after COVID, it's been like a while, and now we're seeing more LAN events happening. It's something which I've discussed with other people, but you're like the first content creator I'm asking. How does it feel to be at a LAN event? Because over there, there's a if I'm to be blunt and honest, majority of the people come to see content creators. It's not the players for
Hmm.
now. It is the
Yes.
content creators. It is
In PC.
in
In
PC.
PC.
In mobile, it's very
But
different. It's the
in
opposite.
mobile, they are coming for the players because they want to be that guy that want to be like that player. They
Yeah.
want to be on that stage. So they want to be there in the event to take what do you say motivation and stuff like that. But in PC, sadly, the scene was booming, 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 and then again it's a plateau now because Valorant franchised
Yeah.
and they stopped doing some the LAN events. The Indian scene was growing with a lot of orgs, and then it just stopped because they went to franchise model.
I mean, that is something which I will get into, but I want to know as a content creator, when you see fans, when you are at events, when
Hmm.
you are seeing people right there, how does it feel for y'all? Because it's like people you might be meeting at every other event, or people who actually be traveling to come just to meet you, interact with you, have a discussion. Like when we were talking, I remember so many people were coming, they want to have a chat with you, have a discussion, just take a photo as well. So how does it make you feel like you're being recognized for yourself now?
It feels blessed. Like I feel blessed because a lot of people know the content creator and they just want to meet you in person, know you in person, but a lot of people are shy as well.
Yeah.
Like even if you are at the event and they are at the event, they will feel shy how to approach, and some do, some approach, and other people are just like छोड़ो यार इन ये लोग ये इनसे कैसे मिल पाएंगे हम रहने दो ये तो भाव ही नहीं देंगे so रहने दो so I feel people are what do you say they want to meet their favorite content creators but बहुत सारे लोग they are very shy
I
but
can
it
say I
feels
am
good.
one of them. I am really one of them because I even for you, if you remember, I waited till the very end. I'm like all the meet
Yeah,
and greet is
yeah,
done. I'm like, okay, now I can go and meet because there's nobody there.
yeah.
So even for me, I can understand, but it feels actually nice that there are LAN events
Yeah.
happening and stuff. But these LAN events have now taken a turn. I mean, the situation which I think so, if you've seen it, where Shriman Legend, he was a streamer who came to a mall and he
Hmm.
was told like we'll have a meet and greet. he expected that to be 3,000 people, but it resulted in the entire mall getting packed up and the police again getting involved. Which again, it happened in a span of two, and I was just wondering with them, like, oh my god, we are now seeing we are witnessing now. It's like the power that a creator holds. Like now you can see
Yeah,
it in real.
exactly.
In COVID, it was
Like
like,
you can imagine 5,000 people watching your live stream.
yeah,
But have you ever seen 5,000 people watching you in a mall, in a stage? You have not, right? You don't see the power of that number. A lot of people don't see what they hold, the power, the
yeah,
hold. Even if you are streaming to 100 people, just imagine 100 people sitting there watching you play, watching you speak. It's just insane, bro. Like, and people say आप आपकी watching कम हो रही है या आपका आपका stream उतना ज़्यादा अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है.
reach
I
नहीं आ
mean,
रहा.
reach नहीं आ रहा. I mean, I would say, bro, 150 लोग देख रहे हैं. आपने कभी real life में 150 लोग को देखा है बैठते हुए?
A
And
concert would be
एक करोड़.
happy. Like literally, musicians
Exactly.
would be like, there are 200 people watching me.
200 people
Comedians will
watching me.
lose it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
And people don't tell them कि आपके तो comedy show में 200 लोग आए हैं सिर्फ.
8 लोग
2000
आए
आने चाहिए
हैं.
थे.
Yeah.
So, but they are happy performing for 200 people. So
Yeah.
why can't the streamers? Why they should feel ashamed कि okay यार मेरी watching कम हो गई है. It's not that. It's just societal thing कि people make you feel that way.
I mean, it's suddenly become bonkers over that numbers is everything. But now that from COVID, like in COVID, you never realize how many people are actually watching you. But now seeing it in real life, where there are like the lines are just increasing more and more. It's just, and with more events happening, more content creators being called, and it's like, okay, now you'll realize the weightage you all have. Like, please realize that, okay, you coming here, we have to buff up our security. And I think so sooner than later it's gonna happen like that. Like what happened at BGIS was one thing. Now I'll be going to Bangalore for the Sky event, and over there I literally told them, please make sure that you all are ticketing properly, because there is another situation, because you cannot have a stampede. If you have a stampede in another thing, it's going to result in again the whole barricading and again another bad name. But I mean, we talk about this and the ecosystem, and you mentioned this earlier, which was very interesting. About Valorant going franchising. CS has now decided to go like open qualifiers, and even for like invited, there are qualifiers per se. It's not like fully open. And so this now we're going to see a change in the like we're going to see two different ideologies being brought up. What do you feel? Because right now, even in Valorant, the off season is there this year. Next year is gone. They have announced that there's going to be no off season. So these events which are happening by TEC, by other TOs, or even these small Intel Gamer Days things or Omen events which are happening.
It won't happen.
It won't happen.
It will lead to the downfall of the game, the popularity of the game, because the local tournaments is the reason the game grows. The local community feels involved.
Yeah.
If everything is just happening online, people will lose interest that हमारा तो होना नहीं है वहाँ, हम क्या देख के करें?
Like the personal attachment. The attachment as well is not there. Like I am so like I remember telling my friends that we are going to be a situation where CS2 has a scope now to just be a good tier 2 game in India and bloom, because you can have events left, right, and center, and we are geographically quite nicely placed.
But the thing is, Counter-Strike has been there for a long time, and it never actually cared about this region, Indian region, South Asian region. Valorant cared. So Valorant launched Indian servers, Valorant launched Indian payment methods, Valorant launched a lot of things. They did a lot of publisher side events. And publisher side activities.
Even the Harbor event.
Along with But have you seen Valve doing anything here?
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
So how will the community attach themselves to the game when they are not allowing themselves to attach to a region? They're only focused on NA, Southeast Asia, EU, China, Japan.
That's it.
But they don't care about South Asia. So I don't know. Like, let's see what happens.
I mean, it's quite. I mean, I was having a discussion with some of the casters and players from CS, like who are there right now. One of them is Tea Time. He was telling me about how like he feels like in India you have a situation where if you can actually make an esports game and you can go into ESL, and it's quite easy if you realize, because there's not a lot of people who are there. Like to create a name, you just need one team to just show everybody that we are doing well. The only team. This is something which is very interesting. There's only one team right now who's actually even there, and that's God's Reign. who was just participating in all events in Counter Strike.
Uh-huh.
But over here, one thing which I want to know is like, we now realize that as a content creator, you might realize this, that whenever you play a game, you are giving a lot of exposure to it. So if you take a game like this, like Rust, you just played like on the servers, you were just testing it out. How was that experience for you? Because now games like the finals is coming out, Rust will be coming out as well. The final is going to be completely different to what we've seen till
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
So how do you feel about more games coming to you? Do you feel like we are going sooner than later going to see like India be like having their own dedicated servers? Because EA has done that with FIFA, but not with Apex, which is
Nahin.
again
I don't know because it all depends on the publishers.
okay.
There are few publishers they are doing it with their games. Like there's a game called Shatterline. But have you seen any content creator playing Shatterline? We
No,
have Indian servers. Now that game will stop being in existence, or maybe they'll stop running the Indian server because nobody's playing or
yeah,
streaming or making content out of it. So Fortnite even had Indian servers, but they like switched off their Indian servers because nobody was playing.
playing it,
The
yeah,
server was not populated. Apex had Bahrain servers, but nobody was playing Middle East.
yeah,
And it it all depends on the publisher. They want to be in the region or not. It's not just about opening a server. It's about being physically present, doing actively some
something,
stuff with the creators, with the ecosystem, with the TOs, with the brands of the region. Do something, make something valuable out of it. अब BGMI का अगर कुछ हो रहा है,
huh,
like India banned PUBG Mobile.
yeah,
If they like did not want to be in the region, they would have left.
yeah,
They would have just said ki okay, ठीक है, it's fine, let them ban. We'll not be in the region. We'll not
yeah,
do anything. But they want uh, what do you say? They want revenue. They want the
Re-
engagement. They saw the rise. They saw the potential. So they launched, kept on launching the game.
yeah,
It was BGMI, then it got banned, then again it came uh,
with the time
next time.
restrictions and all of the
Exactly.
rules and regulations which are being done.
So, like the publisher wants it,
Yeah,
Krafton wants it.
yeah,
Krafton actually wants PUBG PC also to grow in India,
yeah,
but globally PUBG PC is not doing
growing,
well, and people are not very much into that game right now. They are switching things up. They are actively doing giving game updates, but people are not very interested. But the games which are very interested to people, like Apex, like Tarkov,
yeah,
like Rust, like what
R6
do you say, Counter Strike, also R6, but they are not doing a
much,
lot for India, for South Asian community.
yeah.
I don't know why, but if they will not do, people will not get attached, and people will not, give their love, show their love to the creators.
Yeah.
Then they will not see the numbers. The numbers will not explode. It's a whole ecosystem which has to grow, and it starts with the publisher.
I mean, this is something which was even brought out by many other people that in esports, the main authority is a publisher. Like when we talk about
Hmm.
player contracts, oh, we should have a regulating body. The body can only be if the publisher wants to have a body, and because they are like the end all and be all. And we can see that a good example being Riot not allowing events to happen. Like now, there's suddenly been a flexibility. Like, okay, do whatever events you want. Where have we seen last time Valorant having 4 LAN events in a span of 4 weeks? Or like 4 events in 4 different cities. It's not seen before. It's seen now after a long time. But even now that it's seen, it's going to be taken away from us. So it's
Yeah,
like a,
exactly.
it's like a, it's like this nice curve which they're trying to do, and you tend to wonder, okay, what is your goal over here? Because I know, for a matter of fact, in India, the how do I put it? There's some stat which was done about players who are buying in-game currency, like compared to like or in-game when if you if you play a game, how much India is not that high on the list compared to China, Japan,
Exactly.
and NA. But what you can do right now with certain like involving Indian creators, just doing like a voice pack or like maybe like a have like a skin in reference
Exactly.
to
Do
them.
something. Do something.
Yeah,
Invite them to events. Treat them with some speciality. Like,
yeah,
do something for the ecosystem. Make some Indian payment methods. Introduce something for the, Indians.
yeah.
Even Overwatch has Indian, what do you
So
say? Uh, Not server.
then the character.
Hero. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
Indian
yeah,
character. Apex has Indian characters.
yeah,
Valorant has Indian character. But that's not just enough. You have to keep on doing stuff.
yeah.
आपने बस कैरेक्टर बना दिया, वॉइस लाइन डाल दी एंड छोड़ दिया. People are, not very much into this stuff only. आगे भी you have to keep on doing stuff. आपने एक बार कोई एक इवेंट करा दिया, if you know they don't do it, you know, on regular basis, तो फिर लोग
Hmm.
भूल जाएंगे आपको. They won't. People get bored, bro. Like
Yeah.
they don't keep on playing the same game for a year, like
Unless you
without
update it and
you
stuff.
doing some stuff, you know, doing something for the community. नहीं तो people get bored.
I mean, clearly that's something which, interestingly, we talk about this, and Valorant has now a situation where content creators are leaving
Hmm.
Valorant. Why? Because it's become very monotonous. It's like, oh, we can only play a random game. We can do some, even in custom matches, there's not a lot of flexibility to like how there are maps which are there and see we can just go and
Hmm.
start sliding and surfing. That's not there in Valorant. And because of that, it's become like this now thing where people are leaving Valorant, they're trying to find other games, and the cycle is going to again begin, where there'll be another game, there'll be another niche, and
True.
it'll go on and on. But it depends on like the creators can try that. Like every time Valorant, what they do interestingly is, which even you're a part of, is whenever there's a new update, there's a public beta for
Uh,
the creators first. Get
creators, yeah.
Yeah, just have the game out. So I mean that's how you learn. You tell people, oh, the new agent has come out, try it out, or like there's a new game mode, let's try it out and stuff. And that fair use, you're doing a right thing. But then afterwards, it's like you do this, but there's something else. There's it's each publisher
Exactly.
has one good thing, and then there's a very bad thing, which is not allowing the game to
True.
grow. And it, I mean, I'll tell you something which Crafted told me as well, was when I went to the event, was that they were like, okay, we are having the event is for fans, and players are going to be the main priority, and creators are not invited because they don't want to put the focus on them, which is
On
fa-
creators, yeah.
on and because they are in the focus actually. No, like
Exactly, yeah.
exactly, even though like when I went at the event, everybody was like, ooh, Rossi's here, Rossi photo on Rossi's here. There was other players. There was like from SE12, Sid was there. Everybody just
Yeah.
shouting their name, like, hey, can we get
True.
a photo? And the whole fan base, you can see it right there. Like there are fans, but you tend to realize. But here, I want to know one thing: if a game has to get better, or like imagine an ecosystem has to get better in India,
Hmm.
like to the end of this year, what needs to be done? Like, what should be the main priority? Should it be like LAN events or just promotional events?
Like people should start watching other games, and
Hmm.
creators should start creating other game content as well. Like even though उनको कम watching आए,
Yeah.
they get less amount of viewership, they should not lose faith or hope कि okay, I'll not do any other variety stuff because you know it did not perform as good as my
The
regular or main
the
game.
numbers are not there.
Yeah, you have to build those numbers, you have
Yeah.
to make them understand what the game you are enjoying or playing. You have to create content for that game as well. See,
Hmm.
if you are bored of Valorant,
Yeah.
but your audience just only knows Valorant, and you want to play Overwatch, and you secretly enjoy Overwatch off stream, now you are giving less time to Valorant on stream, and it shows on your face that you are bored.
Yeah.
And you don't want to switch games on stream because there is added mehnat, there is added hard work to make people understand the new game you want to play.
Yeah.
You are off stream playing that game. I know a lot of creators like this. They off stream play Apex, they off stream play Overwatch, they off stream play Rust, they off stream play Tarkov, but they don't create content for that game
Mm.
because they will lose numbers. They don't get that engaging viewership, they don't get that engaging audience retention.
Yeah.
So they are very scared. They're like those, like they're like child, a kid
Yeah.
who don't want to lose their favorite teddy bear.
Yeah. But you can get more teddy bears if you if you try to build a family. Then it becomes a
Exactly.
classic example for this is, I think so. It's a very vague example, but Sidemen are one of the content creators who play Among Us till
Hmm.
now. That game was so popular in when there was COVID. After that, nobody
COVID, yeah.
plays that game, and they're the
Uh,
only people who are giving. If and you see the numbers have built it up to a point where it's like one of the most popular games they play on the second channel. Like, hi, if you wanna have fun with our friends, chalo, we'll play Among
uh,
Us. We'll mod it up. We'll do something, and
exactly.
that is what it is.
Yeah,
Like that's what you're talking about. Like exactly this,
exactly.
like creating a fan base and appreciating, or like not appreciating, like giving more exposure to
Think
a
about
game.
think about the content that you can make from that game.
Yeah.
Use your brains. Start making content and just don't, you know, click on start streaming and just start playing that game and think that people will understand your favorite game or the game you want to play, because they won't understand.
Yeah.
Like if I'm showing Overwatch to a new guy, I know the game because I have played it off stream. I have like maybe 100 hours now.
Yeah.
I want to stream it, but my audience doesn't know, and I don't want to make content. I want them to just know, just magically know what the game
Everything.
is.
Yeah.
and and I want the numbers, I want the viewership, the same viewership I am having in Valorant or something. But it won't happen, it can't happen, because you have to do the hard work, you have to make them understand, you have to you know make them interested in that game, show why they should stop watching Valorant and start watching this.
The other features as well of the game. Like I think I think so right now.
Anything,
I think
anything
so
you
the
can
next.
make.
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say.
are a creator.
Yeah. I
Go
was
ahead.
going to ask you
You
this
finish
because no,
first.
I was going to ask you this because you have brought up a very interesting point about just
Huh.
starting streaming, and that's why many people who want to get into streaming as well just do that. They just stream the game, they're playing, and that's it. There's no
Exactly.
character building. There is no understanding of okay, what are the audience want? What do my fans want? What are the games that
True.
are which are going to give me numbers, but also which are going to allow me to
Huh.
express myself. I think so. That is something,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to know about this. Like, if somebody wants to join, like, now it's a very common question of, hi, yeah, if you want to join into esports or you want to join into Commentation, what do you want to do? I don't want to ask you that. I would rather ask you that for what is the one aspect one a person has to keep in mind about himself while
Hmm.
you're on camera or while you're gaming. Like, what is the one thing that they have to keep in mind now, other than like growing, like giving, building an audience for a game?
Like, what's your specialty? What can you do better in that game, which other people cannot? You
Hmm.
have to think that. Like, anybody can rank grind to immortal in
Yeah.
Valorant.
Yeah.
But what is your specialty? How is your brain thinking or processing? Because everybody's brain process things differently. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that you will think the same way. How am I thinking? So you have to focus on that and start making content in the sense, you have to make videos, you have to make shorts, reels, and then start streaming along with it, and start making content. You don't have to do long hours of stream to get to uh, get known in the community, but you just have to be there,
Cons-
consistency.
Consistency.
Even if
It
you are streaming for just 1 hour,
hmm.
on that day you don't have time, but do that 1 hour, be there, show your presence, or maybe upload a shorts, upload something, so that people know that you are doing this, you are doing something different. So just have to make a niche and then grow from there.
I mean, that's a very good point, and I completely agree with you because it is something which is very, how do I put it? It's become very interesting now that we have reached a situation where people are just doing it's monotonous. Everything is becoming the
uh,
same. There's no person. Like, I remember I was talking to somebody who owns like one of these fan pages who make these BGMI score lists. His name is
hmm,
Esports Amazing. He and I were discussing about how people don't have a person, like there's no personality there. Every answer feels like a formulated PR answer. Like,
okay.
think of example of WWE just for the character building, and you have a character, you have a personality. Each person has their own trait. Like, one player is a dancing like Canary, who was there, the player, he got recognized because he just danced, he just celebrated his victory. And now there's another player in Korea who did the same, and he gets recognition. And these are the small niches which people need to understand. But
Hmm.
I mean, we discuss about this, and I want to go back to something which I want to know about this, because we have, I'll say this. What do you feel is a major reason for mobile gaming being so influential in India? Because you can see the numbers. There's 100,000 watching for, if you go into number, 100,000 watching for an event of BGMI, but 200 for an event of Valorant. Now, like, that's like how harsh it's become. But what do you feel like the
Exactly.
was the main focus? Because Riot is trying their level best, or could be doing better, but what do you feel is the
It's
main reason?
not just the publisher, it's not just the publisher, and it's about the ecosystem as well.
Okay.
Everybody has access to mobile games.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, like even a 10-year-old has access to mobile, and even a 50-year guy has access to mobile, access to that game. So they are making content in their own way. Anybody's content is getting exploded on YouTube, and people are watching it because there are so many creators that you know the quantity is
Supply and
huge.
demand.
Sup- like the supply is so much, that even if the demand is not there, people are just watching that, consuming that content. So
Yeah.
they are aware of BGMI, but they are not aware of a game called Rainbow Six Siege. They are not aware of a game called Valorant or Apex. I mean, if there are like, what do you say, maybe 1 lakh, just quoting a random
Example.
number,
Yeah.
1 lakh number of people know about BGMI,
Yeah.
then there will be only 10,000 people amongst them who know that a game called Valorant exists,
Yeah.
because they have never seen it on their YouTube feed or maybe Instagram or maybe wherever they are active, they are watching content. They will know about a game after watching the content. They will never know about the game from a newspaper, from watching TV, from watching Netflix,
Yeah.
right? So their only source is YouTube. They don't watch Twitch. Okay, so we
It's
can't consider
not
Twitch.
in India. Very few
If
people.
if if Twitch came pre-installed, just imagine if Twitch came pre-installed in all the iOS or Android phones. I mean, this this thing which we are talking about would have
Proper.
been very different,
Yeah.
very different.
It.
PC numbers would be way, console numbers would be way higher,
Yeah.
because they have YouTube pre-installed. They don't know about anything called Twitch exists. They watch YouTube. They know Instagram because their friends are on Instagram. They
Yeah.
know Snapchat. So if the content is there on these three platforms, then only they'll know about it.
I mean, that's such a. I mean, you brought up Instagram, and I was just like, okay, yeah, that also makes sense because literally people are just converting the audience. Like, hey, some
Hmm.
reel goes massive, and suddenly, oh, we like a good example would be the girl who was dancing with Stream. I don't know the content creator's name, but her reel is literally coming again and again in my explore, even though I don't follow her. It's just
Hmm.
that there, and it's like, oh, she
It's
did
there.
something. It's just there, and that's the thing. You exposure
Yeah.
is everything now. But this is where I want to ask you something, which I need to ask because I want to know, we don't have a like SETUL made a content creator group and they have all the content creators and they hire, and it's like a we do every week they'll have a video or every 2 weeks there's a
Yeah.
video. Why haven't we seen anybody else do it? Like, why haven't we seen like solo content creators formulate as a group and try to create? Because we are so seeing this. How do I see? We have seen this situation where it's worked. This formula has worked. We have outside India, it has clearly worked. In India, there are certain small regions, like in Karnataka, there's like a gamer gang who's there, like these five BGMI players who have made a group, and they're massive. There, when I went to
Uh-huh.
Bangalore, they were just there. It was like they came and suddenly there was a barrage of fans just rushing in to just see them. But
Yeah.
why aren't we seeing that suddenly going like why aren't we seeing like some of the bigger influencers be like, okay, you know what? We are gaming together. Why don't we just start creating content together as well and just try to create another brand? Why do you feel
Hmm.
this is not happening?
It's not happening because there is no unity,
Okay.
and they are all united with the brand called SATUL.
Okay.
They are signed with them. They are a content creator. Now they are told that if you want to grow, you have to do everything together. तो इट्स लाइक जब आप एक ग्रुप का पार्ट होते हो
Hmm.
एंड यू आर बीइंग टोल्ड कि ओके आई वी हैव टू मेक दिस रील, यू
Yeah.
हैव टू डू दिस कंटेंट, यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट कंटेंट. नाउ आई हैव बीन friends with them as well, so I know how they work. So they work like everybody has to think of ideas. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody comes with ideas. Everything is sponsored by the organization,
Okay.
from the videographer to photographer to costumes to props,
Okay.
but they don't sell the idea. They
Okay.
don't sponsor the idea. Idea should be yours. You
Hmm.
have to tell them that okay, I want Mamba, I want Mortal, I want Scout in this reel or this skid or this video, and I want to shoot here or the idea. So they'll discuss. Idea is good.
Yeah.
They'll hire the videographer. They hire the place. They do stuff. Now what we lack here in other parts are, everything is happening because they are all living in the same city.
Yeah.
That's a huge advantage. Now I'm in Lucknow, maybe
Yeah.
Rakazone is in Delhi, maybe a guy is from Jalandhar, another guy from our group is from what do you say, some other part of the city,
Bangalore,
other part,
anyway,
Bangalore,
Chennai.
whatever,
Yeah.
wherever. Maybe T-Bone is in Bangalore, maybe some other guys some other way, and
Yeah.
we don't live in a place called SATUL Gaming House.
Yeah.
So we can't come together and make a content. There's a limit to what people can do online, right?
Yeah.
तो यही सब चीज़ें हैं, lack of resources and the availability of oneself. And फिर obviously when this thing has started, people have been very comfortable on sitting their home and start streaming.
Yeah.
अब अगर मुझे कंटेंट बनाने का मन भी करेगा ना,
Hmm.
but if 4 5 people which I know are just busy with their streaming schedule, they don't take out time, they can't travel, they
Yeah.
don't have a space to create content in. We it's like it's impossible. How can we do it?
That's very true. I mean, if you think about it, it's all the logistics which do matter because we are quite a vast, like we are quite a geographically, we are a huge country, and
Exactly.
there are people in every corner who's got accessibility, but to the internet. But like traveling is something which is going to be very much a very tough. And also, let's just be honest, rents
And
in
now
Mumbai is
now
too
now
expensive.
think of a situation. We have an org who
Yeah.
set up a gaming house in Delhi. Okay. He signs up some PC creators. Okay. And a
Yeah.
lot of PC creators are, living there, going there, maybe, having good time there,
Yeah.
creating content. Not just good time. It's like कि आप जा रहे हो वहाँ पे party कर रहे हो. It's not like that. It's not a party place. You are having good time. I mean,
Eh,
you are
creating a synergy.
engaging together, knowing each other, and creating content together. So अभी क्या होता है? These creators only create content when they are traveling to a certain event because they meet there.
Yeah.
But it's not a regular thing. They meet once in a month or 2 months. तो कंटेंट का एक डिस्पैरिटी हो जाता है कि 2 महीने में एक आ रहा है, तो
Hmm.
वो उतना इट डजंट हिट द मार्क
Yeah.
जितना अगर आप रेगुलर मिलोगे, एक शहर में रहोगे, तो इट डज. एंड मान लो जस्ट फॉर दैट सेक कि एक गेमिंग हाउस, एक गेमिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज इन दिल्ली, एक गेमिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज इन लखनऊ, एक गेमिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज इन कोलकाता, एक गेमिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज इन बैंगलोर, who have hired these many creators,
Yeah.
and maybe even small creators, maybe they are just growing ecosystem. By obviously if they want to sign a bigger creator, they have to pay more. But
Yeah.
if you are signing 10 small creators, you don't have to spend more or need luxury, need a very lavish gaming house. You can have a small flat with maybe 3 bhk, and start having some basic equipment, start making content. It can be done, right?
Yeah. Just traveling,
but
take a bus
but
and just go
but
somewhere.
nobody is thinking about it. Everybody is thinking कि मुझे मुंबई में बूट कैंप खोलना है, मुझे मुंबई में ही करना है सब कुछ. Everything is just all limited to that single space which is Bombay or Mumbai. And
Why do you feel that
obviously
is
वहाँ पर
so? Like, why do you feel that's the reason? Like, is it because it's just like everything is available there, or because it's just Mumbai, the whole fashion and the fame that comes with
everything
it?
is happening as well in Mumbai, right? Gaming events are in Mumbai,
Hmm.
gaming shows are in Mumbai, any concert is happening, it's in Mumbai, all the hardware is in Mumbai. Like so many resources are in Mumbai. But अब बहुत कुछ हार्डवेयर और रिसोर्सेज के मामले में एवरीथिंग इज अवेलेबल इन डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ सिटीज. यू
Yeah.
हैव लाइटिंग, you have cameras, you have everything available in your city, you have good internet, crazy good internet in every city in India. So why limit yourself to just Mumbai? Why limit yourself to just Bangalore? I am not even kidding. There's nothing in Delhi as well. There's nothing. There's only what do you say, Nordwin Gaming, which is
Yeah.
present in Delhi.
Yeah.
And if they were not there, I will not, you know, uh, I will not even be kidding if
Go
I'm
for it.
saying नॉर्थ इंडिया में गेमिंग का जी भी नहीं हो रहा होता.
They're that
Because
influential.
Nordwing Gaming is the only thing which is happening to gaming in North India.
Okay.
वही करा रहे हैं जो करा रहे हैं. बाकी every other company, every other brand, every other organization, every other you know XYZ
TO,
who are
XYZ.
there in gaming,
Yeah.
they are doing in Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, chalo even Hyderabad. Bas,
Hyderabad.
that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. But it's kind of incredible to even see this because we always talk about, oh, esports players this, but having a conversation about content, like after a long time, for me, I'm like, yes, at last the right answers are coming, like the answers are coming out because you clearly see the formula, it's there. It's right there for
Yeah.
you to just take and grab from. And like, I just understand, like, for somebody as a kid who's grown up watching other content creators, not based in India per se, but one sec.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, we think about this, and it's like coming to a point where it's like, okay, we have such a situation that, okay, there's this happening, there is events happening, there are places for you to understand. Okay, meet, understand, ask knowledge. But even I think so. One thing which happened to me is like, I think it's a bad event. I don't know, but for me, I had a situation where content creators just looked down upon me because I was a journalist and I was not a content creator. And I know it's like a bad apple out of many good apples,
Ah.
but when this happens to somebody, it affects like it affects a fan, because at that point it's like, okay, what did I do wrong that you're making me feel like somebody lower? And it suddenly results in it, like how we talk about people getting shy. It just increases because one experience goes to another friend, goes to another friend. Now imagine today I tell you, like when I met you, I told my friend that, hey, this guy was so nice to talk to. It was fun. And even the person beside me, he was like Drew, who was there. He was also like, okay, yeah, he is a fun person to talk to. So they're like, next time there's an event, one of our friends will also approach you, be like, hi, you met
Hmm.
my friend over here. But as a
Hmm.
creator now, as fame gets into somebody's head, we talk about the numbers, the lifestyle, it gets bougie and bougie and bougie. How
Hmm.
have you, and how do you feel like people have to like ground themselves as well? Like, how do you feel that
Actually,
happens?
I don't think so. India has this problem of, people are, or creators are just in their head, and they don't meet their fans, or with-
Hmm.
at least not in the gaming field. I
Okay.
have not seen any, what do you say, a guy who's just like too busy to meet. They will not meet their fans, or if there's somebody's approaching, they'll just shoo them away. I have not seen them. Everybody is
Okay.
very happy, down to earth, and people are, you know talking to them. Obviously, if model is meeting a certain amount of x number of people, he won't have time, because
Yeah.
there will be huge amount of people be there. So he can only just click a selfie or a handshake. He can't engage with the, what do you say, the person, the subscriber who
Yeah.
is coming to meet.
Hmm.
So that's, what do you say, a thing about quantity is so huge that you cannot give time to, because time
Yeah.
is limited, right? He
Yeah.
is there in an event for 2 hours, so can't do that.
I mean, I completely understand. I think so. I had a bad situation which happened because I was just looked like, it clearly felt like the person just made me feel like, oh, you're just a writer at an event, so you don't matter to me. Or like it was like
Yeah.
just for the sake of giving me a handshake, they gave a handshake, and I was just like, okay, I don't want to deal with this. Like, I'll stay away. But
And plus,
I,
it's all also about how that person's day is also going. You have to
yeah,
think about that as well.
true.
You can't just think ki, okay, that person is downright bad, or downright he does not love to meet people. He might be in a different space back then, so
Are
I
you
don't know.
happy with the fan culture in India right now? Just asking, because we are now having
uh
more events and stuff, more people. I think so. Chat, you can discuss and talk to people. So, how do you feel about the current fan culture? Is it getting
in
better?
gaming field is good.
Okay.
It's okay, but in other fields is, I don't know, like people are mad about certain people who, don't are not the right person to, what do you say, fanning up to.
Okay.
I think, okay, it's up to that XYZ person, so cannot generally comment. It's my ideology or my thinking. Like, if I am thinking ki, okay, this guy I show speed is just,
Just there.
not my fan, not my favorite creator, or I don't like watching him.
Hmm.
And if somebody's fanning to meet him,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I'm not the right person to comment on that. So
I
okay.
mean, Aishwasvi just showed us something like talking about him. He came to India and he just like lit a fire and he just let loose. And clearly he realized, okay, what is happening? Because he didn't have one bodyguard, which he normally has at an event. He had like
Mm,
5, 6 people surrounding him. Because in a span of like 20 minutes, we saw like nearly 1,000 people just stacking up.
mm,
And clearly things like that fan culture which you're talking about, which I feel right now we're in a good place, because it's not like towards the esports side, it's very different where people have agendas,
uh-huh,
and I don't get it.
exactly.
I enjoy a bit of like banter between players, like calling one over the other, like, hey,
Mm,
yeah, I beat you. Fine, in the game, it's
mm,
all fair and war. Afterwards, you're going out, the people are chilling out with each other, there's no enmity. But in
yeah.
the content creation side, it's much more chill. But why do you even feel like in the esports side this has now taken a very ugly turn? Because literally everything is now become like, oh, this team versus this team. Oh, you didn't do this right. Or you didn't do that right. Or this player is bad. You are washed. You are this. For some
Mostly
reason,
it's the fans who are trash talking to other fans.
yeah.
It's not the esports guy, that player is trash talking about the other player. It's not that. They
Okay.
are, they might be in a good terms, but the people think they are rivals, so they have to trash talk, they have to defend their favorite team or favorite guy.
Hmm.
They stand up to him. He doesn't need you to stand up to him, so it's fine. Like, people care about them, and they just go to different lengths to do it.
I mean, but do you feel there is a actual healthy space for trash talking and banter in esports and in gaming? Because we have played CSGO, we have played CS 1.6. We know very well how the chats have been. We know
Uh-huh.
how bad it can be and how funny it can be. And that's
Exactly.
what it does. Like everybody, like you have, like if you're playing in a parlor, you know that one guy, if you get him by the knife, he's going to let loose and the entity is
Yeah,
get.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So do you feel there's an actual space for this, or we are now going to
There
see it
is,
until there's maturity or like the audience, quote unquote, gets
uh,
older?
as like, as the audience get matured
Hmm.
watching that game, they'll know how healthy or how ugly it goes if you say those things. Because if you have never experienced anything back, like if you are trash talking to someone online, you won't experience anything coming towards you. But
Hmm.
if you're doing the same thing on LAN, you might get a punch, or do get something from the security, or something like that.
Debarred.
So that makes them understand.
Hmm.
That makes them understand this is not the right way. This is not the right thing. That punch, or that what do you say, punishment, will make them understand. So if jab tak wo cheez hoti nahi, they will not understand. So there is a healthy way, and there is also the ugly side to it, where people just you know say so mean stuff that you cannot, they cannot take back once they have s- said those things.
It becomes like it's etched in
It
memory.
hurts
Or
the other creator or the esports person or the team which they
yeah.
are saying to. It hurts them because when they are online, they see their comments, dude. Like, ऐसा नहीं होता कि you are just writing to an empty wall.
Hmm.
You are writing on their Twitter, you're writing on their YouTube section, you're writing in their chat. People read it, and it hurts them. The mental illness, the
Hmm.
mental health
Yeah.
degrades.
I mean, that's a very, very major point. And I think so there are like two more topics which I would like to ask about, because you talked about mental health and it reminded me of criticism. Because there has been calling out by people from, how do I put it, the fans, where they criticize in a constructive way. For example, there was one situation, like I'll say I had this one situation where I enjoy football as a fan. I enjoy football. And there was one commentary which was going on in FIFA, somebody commenting. And I just told the person that, hey, what is like you're using FPS terms in football. My man said he went for a headshot in a football game, and I am over here like, okay, I understand you're understanding the game and learning, but at least educate yourself and get better. But then suddenly I come to know that people are hurt by my comments. Now, fair dues, I could have been more critical and be like, you could have watched this, you could do this, you could do that. But are we now going to reach a point where like it's either like, oh, you're being very toxic for criticizing or giving constructive criticism, or like we're going to reach a point where like, okay, banter's also not there because oh my god, you're hurting me. And I mean, I want to know your point on that, because criticism is something which is given to everybody, but some people actually like put a detailed one, and even they are being ignored.
Yeah, but it all depends on the person whom you
Hmm.
are criticizing
Hmm.
and how you are criticizing. It all is very, what do you say? There's no line drawn.
Yeah.
Like, if you can be very harsh with your criticism, you can be very vague with your criticism, or you can be very precise, and that can hurt the person. If you say that, "Bhai, tu acha nahi khelta, tu rehne de, you
Hmm.
don't be a part on that team."
Yeah.
Now, that is a criticism,
Yeah.
but it will hurt the other guy because
Hmm.
you have not been precise. मैं क्यों अच्छा नहीं खेलता भाई?
Yeah.
आपको क्या लगा? You point out the fact जहाँ पर भी आपको अच्छा नहीं है. And you are stating कि okay, I should not be a part of that team, or XYZ should not be a part of that team. So वो चीज़ it hurts the person that person, मान लो it was his first match or second match, it was a LAN, he was trying to perform, नहीं हुआ उससे, तो after reading those comments, वो तो और demotivate हो जाएगा, उसका mental health और खराब होगी. So
जी.
बहुत ज़्यादा people are, you say, they don't know how to criticize.
Hmm.
Criticizing is also an
Art.
art, what do you say? हाँ, तो you have to know what you're doing before doing.
I mean, yeah, and I mean that's a very good point. And I think so people, I mean, I'll tell you something. Oh yeah, people who are watching this channel are only people who are in the back end. They are normally just the people who are behind this product in the production teams and like your channels who are fans, but they realize that we are come here to have a discussion, which is a very in-depth understanding of them because we don't want to clear clips and stuff. But oh yeah, when I concluded, it's like I want to know something from you. When you meet somebody, like this is something which in relation to the fan, you meet somebody and you see that they have been following your journey for years. They have been there since maybe 1 year ago, 2 year ago, 3 years ago. As a person, like how do you feel? Because imagine if somebody's following you, they know for a matter of fact that they're seeing you grow. You have been a part of their growth as when some like when people come out and like you are the reason why I got into gaming. You are the reason when I
Right.
could motivate this. How has that been for you? Because for many people, I've seen like they've not been able to, they've not given like a place to express. They might tell on stream like, "Yeah, thank you so much for being
Mm-hmm.
here," but how does it really feel as like remove the character away, remove Sikhwarrior, the person you are? How does it feel for you from within?
I feel motivated. Like I should keep on doing what I'm doing. I should not get demotivated if my numbers are low, if my, uh, channel is not performing well. But after reading those comments, it motivates me and want to do more. Want to keep on, doing those streams or putting those videos out so that even if 10 people are motivated, someday they will thank me or someday they will, you know, they will meet me or, you know, have a handshake. They tell me on like face to face. So it will feel special, more special. Reading online is one thing, and having it face to face is the other thing. So always feels special and motivates me to
And
do
do
more.
you feel like it's come like a full circle for you then? Because you started off this journey to be somebody who's recognized for you. You working for
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and now everybody
Uh-huh.
knows you because you are this. You have done this for me. So how does it feel like this part as well? That I've like it feel like one step. Like hey, I've reached over here. Okay, now there's more to
Uh-huh.
go, but the main goal which I went with now it's coming true.
Feels blessed. Feels blessed that I have been able to do it, and I don't know how, kab tak I'll be
Hmm.
able to do it, but jab tak I, health will allow or everything, will allow, so I will be doing it for a long time.
And I mean, that is a very nice note and a very heartfelt note to end this conversation because I know for a matter of fact, by the way, for people who are watching, who was example, the person that coming for a handshake and telling him thank you and learning from him, I am one of them. And I know for a matter of fact that I can be there and I could, and we had like a nice conversation. You are one of the few people who I genuinely had a nice conversation with. And I was like so happy. You and another person is Venom. Ankit Pang,
Mm-hmm.
he's been an amazing person even to talk to, like even for advice and stuff. And that's the thing, like for the fans who are watching this, just know that approach. If you're going to an event, go meet, tell them your journey, and people will recognize you. People will value you because
Mm.
you're not just one viewer to them. You are a person who matters. No matter what you
Exactly.
do, what you say, it's a good thing, it's a bad thing. They will recognize it. And content creators are humans after all. We might be playing a character at the end of the day. We might have certain things, but there's a human
Mm.
within. And I think so. Recently, like today, we got the news of the passing away of Matthew Perry as well. Like
Yeah.
it, very sad thing. I must say, rest
A
in
lot of
peace.
people might have been motivated by his, what do you say, acting or
Yeah.
whatever happened in the show, they would have, and now after hearing, so they are shattered.
They're shattered and they
कितने
realize,
कितने लोग हैं जिन्होंने भाई, like, I guess 10 times they have watched the show because
yeah,
they loved it so much, so was close to them. I've not watched Friends, so I
I
don't
am
know.
I'm not much into the show, but I know for matter of fact that that guy was influential, and that's the thing.
Exactly.
he was quite influential. Like people said, like people literally put rest in peace Chandler Bing, and I'm like, that's a character. That's not his real name. I had to tell people like you do, but then that's the thing. We are like we might be playing characters, we might be a personality, but there is a human, and
Exactly.
trust me, that human wants to get to know you, and I think so. Everybody wants everybody's growth at the end of the day. I think so. We are now realizing the numbers that is coming with our industry as well, with more events and more stuff. And hopefully, I get to meet you again in person someday. If
Exactly.
there's an event where you are invited and I'm going to come as like a journalist, be like, I will
100%.
see.
100%.
Yes, I would love to meet you again as well. And thank you so much. Thank you everybody for
Okay.
watching this. And yeah, we'll see you in the next interview. So bye bye.
No worries. Bye bye.